What if I told you that the greatest social shift of the 21st century isn't happening in the halls of government or the volatility of the markets? What if I told you it is happening in the silent thoughts of millions of ordinary men? Across continents, from the frozen history of Siberia to the glowing blue light of modern dating apps, a single, invisible thread connects them. It explains why an entire generation is quietly turning off the lights and walking away. By the end of this, you won't just understand the Great Male Withdrawal. You will recognize the blueprint for what comes next. It isn't bitterness. It is a form of inner freedom that men have forgotten even exists. There is a quiet epidemic spreading today. It's not a virus. It is a psychological resignation so vast it has become background noise. Walk into a bar, walk onto a college campus, or scroll through a social app. You can feel it, an absence. The primal pursuit that once fueled civilizations, the drive to court, to commit, to build families, is evaporating. The modern man is functional, he is polite, he is productive, but look closely and you'll see that something behind his eyes has gone dim. He isn't angry, he isn't protesting in the streets, he is simply done. This is not a rebellion, it is the funeral of an old dream. To understand why, we have to leave modern dating culture and travel back to one of the darkest places in history, the Soviet Gulag. Alexander Solzhenitsyn wrote of a brutal truth whispered among prisoners. He noted that when men were arrested, stripped of their status and stripped of their ability to provide, many wives quickly denounced them. They remarried. They erased these men from memory, not because they were cruel, but because the man's function had been reduced to zero. Loyalty evaporated with utility. Now return to the present. Meet Mark. He's 28. He swipes on apps, pays for dates, plays the role. After one pleasant evening, he texts her, and then sees her with someone else days later. He doesn't feel heartbreak. He feels irrelevance. He subconsciously realizes he is just one of hundreds in a queue, valued only by his features, height, income, humor. The moment a better model appears, his utility resets to zero. The Gulag pattern has gone digital. The data confirms this shift. Pew Research shows 63% of men under 30 are single, compared to only 34% of women. That is a demographic canyon. Men aren't giving up because they are weak. They are giving up because the cost-benefit equation of modern romance now returns an error. The dating market is a casino built on infinite options, and a generation of men has learned that the only winning move is to walk out the door. But the pattern goes deeper. During the collapse of the Roman Empire, diaries describe wives abandoning sick husbands to save themselves. Again, not malice, survival. When a man's social function collapses, loyalty collapses with it. This brings us to the heart of the withdrawal. It is the realization that the romantic ideal of unconditional love was a dream men believed in far more deeply than women did. For many, that illusion has shattered, and its death brings both grief and clarity. But listen closely, this withdrawal is not the end, it is the beginning. This is the dark night of the soul described in every spiritual tradition. It is the collapse of the false self, the self built on performance and external validation. Many men sit in this void right now. They've lost motivation for work, for the gym, for life. But this collapse is not decay. It is purification. It is the burning away of the man who lived for approval. Out of this crucible emerges the sovereign man. Sovereignty means becoming the supreme authority of your own life. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. When a man stops outsourcing his self-worth, he returns to his throne. This creates a paradox. The less a man needs validation, the more naturally he attracts it. But attraction is no longer the goal. The goal is a life so full of purpose that a partner becomes a complement, not a foundation. So what does sovereignty look like? It is the man who trains for strength, because strength feels good. It is the man who pursues mastery, because creation satisfies the soul. It is the man who sets boundaries, because he respects himself. It is the man who feeds his mind with philosophy not to impress, but to fortify. This is not isolation, it is construction. The checked-out men of today are simply in the early stage of a deep transformation. Their withdrawal is the first step in a return, stronger, calmer, and independent of the marketplace. The journey from despair to sovereignty is the ultimate masculine initiation. It demands the courage to face the truth and the strength to walk alone long enough to discover your own freedom. If this resonates with you, know this. You are not giving up. You are waking up. And now, the real work begins. This channel is the blueprint for that return. If you are ready to leave the noise behind and reclaim your sovereignty, make sure you subscribe. But don't just watch, speak up. Drop a comment below if you felt this shift in your own life. Your story might be the spark that wakes someone else up. Share this video with a brother who needs to hear it. We are building something real here. Welcome to the journey.